Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're taking on a really challenging text, a profound one, Rabbi Joseph B. Soloveitchik's 1965 essay, The Lonely Man of Faith.
It's a huge piece of work.
It really is. And our mission here is not just to, summarize it. It's to synthesize what the sources are telling us about this fundamental, almost heartbreaking paradox of being a person of faith in our modern technological world.
It's an absolutely essential text for that.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is that Soloveitchik wasn't really tackling the debates that were common at the time. He wasn't worried about, say, evolution or biblical criticism.
No.
His project was much more intimate. He was working in religious phenomenology and anthropology.
Okay, let's pause there for a second. When you say religious phenomenology, for listeners who are diving into this for the first time, what exactly are we talking about?
It means we're exploring the experience of faith, not the historical facts, not the doctrine in a vacuum, but the internal personal experience. Soloveitchik wanted to articulate the personal dilemma a person of faith feels.
That feeling of being estranged, right?
Exactly. Why does this person feel lonely and alienated, even when they're successful and part of society? He's looking at the religious consciousness itself.
And he traces this deep alienation back to, I think, a really surprising source, the first two chapters of Genesis. He says the difference between the two creation stories isn't a mistake. It's a divine mandate. It requires two completely distinct, often contradictory personalities inside every single one of us. He calls them Adam the first and Adam the second.
Exactly. And that's the core of the whole thing. The person of faith feels lonely precisely because both of these personalities are divinely willed. They're both critical.
You have to be both.
You have to attempt to be both, which he says is seemingly impossible. It forces this constant, often painful oscillation between this majestic, conquering personality and this humble, submissive one, that back and forth. That is the source of the loneliness.
That sets the stage perfectly. So we have to start with Adam the first. He's the one who, frankly, looks a lot like the ideal modern person. So let's unpack Adam the first. What's his mandate?
Adam the first is the majestic man. His entire blueprint comes straight from Genesis 1. Fill the earth and subdue it.
Okay.
So his whole drive is outward. It's about power, control, creation. This is the human being striving to master the environment, to build things, physical, political, social things, and to conquer nature's challenges, whether it's disease or, space travel.
And his goal isn't just survival, it's achieving majesty and dignity. I found his definition of dignity here just fascinating. It's tied directly to conquest, isn't it?
It is. For Adam the first, dignity isn't an internal feeling. It's a social and behavioral category. You are dignified whenever you triumph over nature.
So it's measurable.
It's totally measurable. It's gained through visible, quantifiable success. Think of it like this. If a cure for a disease is found or a new bridge is built, that is Adam the first establishing his dignity. It's the engine that drives every engineer, every scientist, every organizer.
So Adam the first is the ultimate utilitarian. It's all about function and outcome.
Precisely. His whole way of asking questions is technical. He asks how. How does the cosmos work? How do we build this? How do we fix that? He only cares about the functional aspect of reality, not its a deeper meaning or purpose.
Right.
And Soloveitchik is clear. These achievements, medical breakthroughs, Sputnik, they are legitimate. They're God-willed creative activities. God wants us to conquer.
And because his goal is mastery and production, the community he builds has to be functional too.
Of course. It's what he calls the natural utilitarian community. It's built on cooperation for successful production. We partner up to conquer the environment more effectively.
So in that world, you're never really alone.
You're never alone, but the connection is functional. It's a practical partnership, a necessity for success. A successful life for Adam the first is only possible inside this kind of team framework.
Okay, so if Adam the first is the conqueror, building a community of success based on the question how, then Adam the second is.
Well, he's the complete counterpoint. This is where the tension just explodes. It really does. Adam the second comes from Genesis 2. His duty isn't to subdue the earth, but to cultivate the garden and to keep it. Yeah. His concern is not how the universe works, but what message it carries.
And his core experience is this profound ontological loneliness. What makes that different from just, being socially isolated?
It's existential. It's this deep awareness of your own uniqueness, a kind of alienation that comes from the fact that your innermost spiritual experience just can't be communicated.
I see.
Adam the first can easily talk about his success, right? The metrics are clear, the bridge is built, the profit is made.
Right.
But Adam the second, He can't communicate his deepest commitments because they don't fit into the utilitarian language of Adam the First.
So while Adam the First is measuring his dignity by winning, by conquering, Adam the Second is actually called to retreat. So what's his goal? If Adam the First chases dignity, what does Adam the Second seek?
He seeks redemption, or what Soloveitchik calls cathartic redemptiveness. And this is where the two ideas just completely clash. Remember, dignity is social, you can see it. But redemption. Redemption is an ontological attribute of being. It's a definitive mode of being itself.
Can you unpack that phrase a little? Ontological attribute. What does that mean in practice?
Sure, ontology is about the nature of being, of existence. So for Adam the First, success is about mastering the world. For Adam the Second, redemption is about achieving an authentic state of existence through submission.
Submission.
Yes, redemption is gained whenever a person is overpowered by the creator of nature. It's found in that humble surrender to a higher being, which is the exact opposite of Adam the First's mandate to conquer and triumph.
So the two goals are inherently contradictory. One demands total mastery, the other total surrender. And I'm guessing this completely changes the kind of communities they form.
It absolutely dictates it. Adam II lives in the covenantal faith community, and this community isn't based on successful production or mutual interest. Those are Adam I's ideas.
So what's it based on?
It's built on shared commitments, shared distress, and shared defeat.
Shared defeat. Wow, that's a striking idea.
It is. Adam II's community recognizes that human power has limits. He says it's structured by three persons: I, thou, and he. The key element is the togetherness of God and humanity. It's a sacred bond where you transcend your personal loneliness through a shared commitment to something bigger than your own success.
So one community is for mutual gain, the other is for a shared destiny, even shared suffering.
That's it, exactly.
The genius here is showing this isn't just some abstract theological idea. The religious person is trying to live this dialectical life, this kind of religious schizophrenia, where the conqueror and the solitary are constantly at war inside.
That is the core tension. And both of them are not just allowed, they are divinely sanctioned. So the human being has to try what seems impossible, to live fully in both the action-oriented utilitarian world and the spirit-oriented covenantal world.
And that oscillation, that swinging back and forth, it sounds completely exhausting. How does that lead to this continuous feeling of loneliness?
Because complete redemption, which is Adam II's goal, is just unattainable in the utilitarian world of Adam I. That world simply doesn't speak his language.
He has no home.
He has no single home, as Soloveitchik puts it. If he fully embraces Adam I and becomes a success, his soul, Adam II, starves. He loses redemption. But if he clings only to Adam II and retreats completely, he can't function in the world or fulfill his duty to improve it.
The tension is mandatory.
And therefore, so is the loneliness.
Which brings us to the contemporary crisis. This is maybe the most relevant part of the essay for us today. Soloveitchik argues that modern society has made this conflict so much worse. Why is the modern majestic man, Adam I, so problematic now?
The crisis comes from Adam I becoming, well, excessively successful, and crucially, rejecting his other half. He becomes arrogant, narcissistic. He starts to believe that he is the entire human personality.
Yet there is no Adam II.
Or that Adam II is just an outdated, primitive version of himself. Modern technological success has blinded him to that unique, transcendent experience that Adam II embodies.
And if Adam I controls all the functional language technology, media, commerce, he tries to absorb religion itself into his world.
Exactly. And that's the tragedy. The modern Adam I looks at faith and asks, how can this serve my majestic goals?
What's the use value?
What's the ROI? He seeks religion not for commitment or sacrifice, which is what real religious life demands. He wants comfort, serenity, an aesthetic experience, maybe a good networking opportunity.
He wants faith to be another tool for his personal well-being, something to enhance his dignity, but not a transcendent challenge that demands surrender.
Precisely. And by translating faith into these cultural categories that suit his utilitarian goals, by making religion functional, he co-opts it. And tragically, he ends the necessary dialogue between the two Adams. If faith is only valuable when it makes Adam I feel good, it loses this covenantal heart.
And the loneliness gets deeper because Adam II loses his voice completely.
He gets silenced.
So the sources really make it clear that the loneliness of the modern person of faith is a function of our society's singular focus on measurable goals over moral or spiritual application. Our entire civilization is built to reward Adam the First.
And that creates immense pressure. The person of faith is constantly pushed to define their commitments in the language of success. When they try to talk about the deep, incommunicable nature of Adam II's world suffering, surrender the majestic man of the world, and sometimes the Adam I inside them, just dismisses it.
As non-functional. Obsolete.
Yeah, and that rejection is the sound of Adam II being silenced.
So this deep dive, it shows us something incredibly profound, that the loneliness of faith isn't a flaw to be fixed. It's not a sign of weakness. It's an integral part of our paradoxical human destiny. We're supposed to sway between the impulse to conquer and the need to surrender.
And Soloveychik's essay itself is, in a way, a heroic act. It's Adam II trying desperately to explain his unique, transcendent world to Adam I, who only understands the language of function and tangible results. It's an attempt to save that dialectic.
So the challenge for you, the listener, is to understand that the true goal isn't to eliminate this tension. The point is to live inside the oscillation, to realize that God sanctions both types of creativity, both mastery and submission.
A life that demands both visible victory and invisible defeat. And that leaves us with a really difficult question. If Adam I measures his success by victory and dominion, and Adam II finds his redemption in surrender and retreat, how do you measure the success of your deepest commitments? Specifically, how do you value things like humility or sacrifice or silent loyalty, all virtues of Adam II? In the parts of your life where success can't be seen or quantified by the outside world, it's really a question of whether you let Adam I's metrics define your entire life.